Right, on to the other big news of the day.
How do we start on this?
I don't even know. So, the plans for the European Super League have been announced. At this minute, it's just 12 teams that have been confirmed that they will partake in it should it 100% go ahead. And the 12 teams are Manchester United, Liverpool, Manchester City, Arsenal, Chelsea, Tottenham Hotspurs, Barcelona, Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid, Inter Milan, AC Milan, and Juventus. So they're the 12 teams that are going to be in it. Just for accepting it, apparently, according to reports, teams will get $425 million just for saying that they're going to be a part of it. They apparently want to get more teams in it. There's been 3 rumoured teams to get it to 15, and they have been Bayern Munich, RB Leipzig, and FC Porto. However, Bayern and Leipzig at this minute in time, as a recording, are in the not joining bit because they were happy with the reforms that the Champions League want to do, which are set to come. The reforms of that is set to come out later on today for the 2024 season going forward. There's been no French teams invited as of yet, and obviously no German teams in this whole competition as it stands. So I'll leave it at that for a minute. What are your thoughts on this whole situation?
Well, before we start, it's only apt that we do a moment of silence for what we formerly once knew as football. What the fuck were they thinking?
They weren't.
Oh, Jesus.
As the song goes, money talks.
Yeah.
Money
It's
talks.
Have you ever
Dirty
seen that
cash, I
clip?
want you.
You ever seen that clip of the Irish guy?
I mean,
that
there's a lot of Irish people.
Greed, and more fucking greed.
Yes.
That is just the intro. That's the intro of this whole podcast. It's hard for me to come with this. I'm not a fan of one of these clubs. Like, you're in the perfect situation with this, and I know you don't fully support Man United as much now. And well, if anything, this has just confirmed you'll never support them again.
Yeah. So what I'm saying, and I'm going to come from both angles, is it provides us with better games because if we have you're playing these two teams twice, each team twice, that's going to provide great viewing. However,
3 years.
Yeah, it will get boring after a while. But is that more entertaining than watching Sheffield United Burnley? Of course it is. But like you said,
they're in the top 4, right?
I mean, Sheffield United have to be in the Premier League first.
They might still be.
Yeah. So there's the interest. There's that interest-wise. However, like you said, it ruins football because they're going off into this crazy league. All the star players are going to go there because the financial powers are in these 12 clubs' favour. So what enjoyment does it bring to fans in Premier League clubs that aren't a part of the top 6 that are in the Championship and below? It's like the money for them is just going to dry up because TV rights are just going to, if we can watch these 12 clubs every week, we're 100% going to sign up for it. There's been talks, obviously, that they will stay in their respective leagues, but I don't see that happening. For me, I think it just shows the greed of the owners.
And this has been coming for years.
Yeah.
We've all been seeing the clear path to Americanization of European football.
Yeah. And it doesn't help the fact that if you look at 3 of the English clubs, Man United, Liverpool, and Arsenal, who are they owned by? Americans. So it doesn't surprise me that this comes about. Neither does it surprise me that...
if it just to add in that Tottenham have now confirmed Jose's sacking as well.
Yeah, I have just seen it. Yeah. So it doesn't surprise me that they want to go down this American route of making it like one league of all the best teams and all the best players are a part of it. But it's
the difference with that. They're trying to be the NFL and the NBA, but it's not going to be like that, is it?
No.
Because the joy of the NFL and the NBA at least has is that it's not the same teams every year. They have the draft that helps the lower teams that have done crap get better because they're getting the best future prospects.
Hence, look at the New York
This ain't
Knicks.
This ain't gonna happen with the Super League.
Oh no, it won't. Because there's already, there is already, I know there isn't much, but there is a bit of financial disparity because Man United, Man City, Chelsea, Barcelona, Real Madrid, and Juventus can spend more than the other clubs. It's a well-known fact that they have more.
Already has its own big four.
Yeah. Which is crazy to think that you want to create a league where it's just 4 to 5 teams out of the 12 are spending more than everyone else. And you're like, it's just crazy. I'm also at a lot of...
If people are tuning in for like massive expert analysis, we're not.
Yeah.
We're just two football fans that are reacting to the mess that this is now going to create.
Oh yeah, because if it does go ahead, what happens? And the Premier League and the leagues that these teams represent won't allow them to be in the league. They'll be kicked out of it.
Yeah, sack them off.
Because if it's talks that they won't be able to represent their country at any level now for international, the leagues will just join the same way and kick them out. And then you'll be like, right, that means the whole English tier structure. Oh, you're not going to have the Premier League as just 14 teams. That means the whole leagues all below are going to have to be restructured.
Yeah, I don't know how they did it. Whether they,
for me, because
it'd be unfair to keep the relegated, like the 3 relegated clubs this season. I think whether you keep them or not, or you keep them down, you just promote 6 championship teams. I don't know how it would work. I don't.
Well, from what I was discussing last night was, I was saying, you just make the Premier League 20 teams, 24 teams for the Championship, and then make it over League 1 or 2 like 22 teams. So you just make it smaller. And it would be like the National League North and South, how like 1 from each go up. So 1 from each, the Championship and League 1 go up to, I don't know, the Championship. But yeah, it is on course to ruin football as we know it. Yeah. And it's not
potentially
I want to be here.
We have potential, but in the short run, it creates more opportunities, I guess, for the likes of Leicester, West Ham, Villa.
Yeah. But that's the small bright spot.
It's obviously the worry is the financial incentive isn't potentially going to be as big.
Oh, if it's going to be an astronomical, it's going to be an astronomical difference because if the winner of the Super League is true, they apparently get 500 million for winning this whole Super League. That takes about 4 to 5 years to do that in the Premier League. So it's just crazy how big the difference is going to be. And the financing behind this Super League is done by JP Morgan, who are biggest bank.
If the Super League ends up being its own thing anyway, which it's believed that's probably where it will end up going, even if that's not the plan of it. But that's where it will go because the leagues don't want it.
Oh, 100%.
So finance, surely you'd hope there's sense and that they don't cut the revenue.
Yeah, but what's the unique selling
point?
point? That's the thing. What is now the new selling point to the Premier League?
Should be broadcast actually competitive.
Oh yeah, actually competitive.
Has to be the main incentive.
And actual fans and players want to be in it rather than just there for the money and the best team always wins it. So that could make it more interesting.
The big thing will be here with UEFA and FIFA. If they don't ban players who take part in this Super League from international football, there's nothing to stop a player keep playing in this Super League.
Well, yeah, it's just
we'll find out who really values just earning the paycheck.
Yeah, it's just crazy. Right?
Can you see like a massive exodus of players from clubs?
I think so. I think the likes of
are those clubs actually going to allow it?
You can't stop a player though.
You're telling me Harry Kane comes out and says, "No, sorry, I don't want to. I know I don't want to be here, but I don't want to be a part of this Super League."
Wow.
Like, you think Everton are going to be able to afford 100 million plus Harry Kane?
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the whole idea of these 12 clubs. It makes it easier for them to do transfers within each other and harder for everyone else to buy players off them.
So the main incentive of the European Super League is one season you'll see I don't know, maybe Mo Salah plays for Liverpool for 2 seasons, then he goes and plays for Real Madrid for 2 seasons.
Pretty much, I think that's.
And then he goes and plays for. Then he goes back to Chelsea for another season. God.
Oh, it is ridiculous.
Make it like the Indian Premier League.
Yeah.
The cricket bidding war for players.
That would definitely stir up some interest. Then you have all the 12 have a bidding war for players.
Certain players have to commit to this Super League, and then it's just a bidding war for who wants them the most.
Just
we're
on
benefits, what are we doing?
Yeah, we shouldn't really. Just early news on this, like how well it's been taken in terms of like shareholders. Juventus, since the announcement, the stock market's opened up in Italy, they're up over 10% today, which is a massive climb for them. And there's some reports that saying Manchester United could also be up as much as 5% as soon as the New York Stock Exchange opens this morning. So, which was always my thing of this is why they're going to do it, because the shares in the club that are on certain stock exchanges, mainly I think of Man United because obviously I support United, they're going to be up immediately and big because of the announcement, and that's why it's being done now. But yeah, it's so frustrating because I can't even get how annoyed I am at the whole situation. It's ridiculous. Like, yeah, it gives fans more sport to watch and football, but just why? There's no need for it, though, is there? If those 12...
They just got scared of little Aston Villa, like calling for their Premier League title.
Yeah. If those 12 teams were against the new 34 or 36 or however many it was meant to be in this new Champions League, surely they could have just said, right, we'll set up an allegiance with one of the two of these other smaller clubs and say, actually, we don't want this to happen, and they then would have got enough votes to stop this planned.
That's what this is. It's the biggest middle finger to every other small club that has any ambition of being where they are.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And if there are reports that they say they do want to keep them in their traditional leagues, Man United and the six in the English leagues aren't going to care where they finish at all in the Premier League, then, are they?
This whole point, we haven't even gone in the fact that who the fuck decided to invite Arsenal and Tottenham?
Oh, yeah, considering I think four out of the 6 English teams aren't currently in the top 4.
Four of the. Yeah, so I think it's 4 of them.
Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea, and Spurs aren't in the top 4.
Jesus.
And they're considered top clubs. I mean, Atletico, Barca, and Real are top 3 in Spain at the minute. Inter, AC, and Juve are amongst the top 4 or 5 in Italy. But it does seem that, according to reports last night, that Florentino Perez and Ed Woodward of Manchester United were the main pursuers behind this in getting this as much to the forefront and kicking it off as soon as possible.
Do you know what's funny about it? The whole thing? It's already, before this even thing has become a reality, we look at those guys and think, I really wouldn't want my club to be run by someone like Ed Woodward, Joel Glazer, or Perez.
Yeah.
So who the hell would want a league run by them?
Exactly, it's crazy. So according to the New York Times as well, Super League clubs believe it is illegal for FIFA to ban their players from playing in international tournaments. They are already file petitions in several courts to prove it. So that seems to be saying they think there is a clause in contract saying you can't, even if we do create our own league, you can't ban us from playing internationally, which is just crazy, because why they don't deserve to have the right to play international football if you're going away to create your own league.
Well, no, but I know you were talking about international football there, but I'd seen the figures about English football. The current big 6, inverted commas, if they want to call themselves that.
Yeah.
But not a single one of them are responsible for being the founder of English football itself.
Oh no, that's your likes of West Brom, Wolves, Aston Villa, Preston North End.
This is act as well. So Villa obviously have the statue of William McGregor, the guy who was responsible, the main founder of it. Statue outside the ground for him. Do you think Arsenal are going to give Stan Kroenke a statue for being the founder of the European Super League?
Don't be fucking silly.
Like,
they hate him as much already as it is, and they're just going to hate him even more.
The whole thing just stinks, and that's obviously no surprise to anyone.
Yeah, it's just corporate American greed. It's the best way to sell it is corporate greed, and that they just don't care about anything other than themselves. I mean, I did see one where it said like they're classing fans, like nowadays fans, as legacy fans, and they're planning on doing it for fans of the future. It's like, what the fuck do you mean by that? Surely you care about the here and now lot of fans, because they're the ones that give you the fucking money.
They say fans of the future. That roughly translates to those who are watching from America, Asia, those who don't have the proper feeling like me and you in terms of our teams.
Oh, of course not. I mean, like, there's the whole. Where the fuck's the tournament going to be played? Because they're not going to want to be.
Just prepare yourself for Chelsea versus AC Milan from Dubai.
Yep. Or somewhere in America. Like, I guarantee that now, because if you remember a few years back, there was talk about Barcelona and Real Madrid playing one of their El Clásicos in Miami, I think it was.
We've seen all the talk about the 39th game in Miami.
Yeah.
Piss off.
Exactly.
That's what pre-season's for.
Yeah. But now it seems like this is one of them things where that league could take place over there for like a handful of games and other games elsewhere.
I've got Sky and it's muted. Graham Souness is that coming, and I'm sure he's blaming Paul Pogba for this.
Of course he is. That's all he is. It's the only person he does blame for anything. I'm genuinely just at a loss of words for this.
Oh, it really does feel like we've said barely nothing. We've said a lot, but it still sounds like we've just come across this very boringly.
Yeah, that's the thing, that it's so hard to take in at this minute in time, but there has actually been so much to take in, because like,
I missed Lana Juicy last night, thinking there was going to be the announcement earlier, the bastards.
Well, yeah, it was initially at 9:30, and then it came out about 11, didn't it?
I know, I stayed up to 1 for some reason. I'm fucking tired.
Yeah. But yeah, it's going to be killing football, and
I don't like all these tweets. It's the death of football, is it? It's just the death of football as we know it now. Football's not going to die.
Oh yeah,
football will find its new form. Football was perfectly fine before these 6 decided to fuck it all up.
Before Sky came in and decided to give it all the big money in '92. Like, football is always changing, because obviously it changed in 92-93 season for the inception of the Premier League and Sky coming along. The European Cups, both Europa League and Champions League, have changed over the years, and again are set to change if all these plans are agreed for 2024. Like, football's always evolving, but I think what makes this one worse is that it's just 12 specific clubs benefiting from it at this minute in time, rather than everyone benefiting from it.
Yeah.
Because at least with the Premier League deal, is saying, okay, all 20 teams are benefiting from getting some amount of money and revenue from being played on TV. And you can say, okay, whilst the top 6 may get shown more because of how close like a title race may be, you can still say, okay, at least once in a while we'll see Burnley versus West Brom thrown on TV.
Yeah. And that doesn't sound appealing. Like, that's going to be a battle for 6th place next season.
Yeah.
But God, it's just like, obviously it will devalue the Premier League, the Champions League. But do you think any other Leeds fan or an Aston Villa fan's going to give a shit?
No.
They're fucking. If you tell me that next season we have a genuine chance of being the Premier League champions, fucking give me it now.
Oh yeah, every fan that is a part of the that isn't a part of the 12. They're rejoicing.
And I'm not going to have any of these fans of the top 6 who say, yeah, but it's not going to mean anything. Of course it fucking means everything.
Yeah. It's some of the biggest stuff that any of these fans are going to ever see in their lives if they do potentially win the Champions League or win the Premier League. It's massive for these smaller clubs like Aston Villa, who, for you in your life, you haven't seen Aston Villa win a Premier League title in your lifetime, have you? Or a Champions League trophy in your lifetime? So something having the ability
in my lifetime. The playoff one can't get, unfortunately.
Yeah. It is like
life peaks in that moment for me.
Yeah,
that little game.
If you can say, "Oh, I've seen my team win the Premier League," I know from being a Man United fan, the raw emotion you get of seeing your team win the Premier League.
It would also make this podcast a lot more fun.
It is just something that it's pure emotion that you can't explain until you've experienced it yourself.
There are people that do actually underestimate saying, "Oh, the value will be gone," but no, because fans of these smaller clubs now having the chance to be higher up in the Premier League without them.
Yeah,
that's just going to raise the stock more in terms of its competitiveness. We talk about the Championship. Like, all right, it's not the best quality of teams, but the drama of it.
Yeah,
maybe that adds more in the Premier League.
Yeah, it's literally going to be like it's going to be the Championship on steroids with this new version of the Premier League. Should it go ahead and all these teams, the big so-called 6, do leave?
Yeah, but then again, I'm still not going to be ready for Brighton versus Barnsley. Super Sunday here for Sheffield United versus Southampton, followed by Brighton versus Barnsley. And then later tonight, it's Luton Town versus Leeds.
What the Hatters?
Luton versus Watford in the Premier League.
We'll talk about Luton Watford at a later date after their weekend.
People are expecting like games of it. That's not happening.
Yeah,
it's irrelevant at this point.
Oh, of course it is.
Imagine like Man City going to lift this trophy at the end of the season.
No one's going to.
It's fuck all.
Yeah. If you use the fucking off, because there's been reports they want to start it as early as this August.
Yeah.
No one's going to give two shits.
It's almost at a point where they might as well just fuck the league off now for the rest of the season.
Yeah. Just hand it to the best placed team that aren't in this Super League.
Which would be Leicester. I think that's in. It was if you got rid of the top 6, Leicester finished top. Leicester currently go top. West Ham second, Everton third, Leeds 4th, Villa 5th, Wolves 6th, Palace 7th.
Jesus.
And I bet someone on Villa had done it. Like if you scrap the games that you played against them big 6 as well, West Ham win by like 9 points.
Wow.
And Villa come 4th.
Can't complain there then. That's Champions League football. But yeah, I mean, there was even rumours saying that they're cancelling the rest of this season's Champions League and Europa League. But
if they've all pulled out of the ECA, which is the association, they have to be involved with that to compete in Europe competitions or something like that.
I'm not too sure how that.
If they've all come out, the PSG are the only ones left. Then it's theirs.
Well, yeah, and then Europa League wise, it's Roma versus Villarreal for the final.
Yeah, just when we were about to get the spice of Emery returning to Arsenal, it potentially gets taken away from us.
Exactly. But yeah, this is just, and I know we said no PSG at the minute, but once this World Cup in Qatar is done, PSG will be joining it 100%.
Yeah.
They'd be silly not to.
I was surprised when they weren't already named.
Yeah.
You'd think with their hatred for UEFA.
Oh.
Well, you just think they'd have a hatred for it.
Yeah.
They'd have been straight on it. Well, it seems not.
Yeah, it's a little surprising.
When they realise they've gone as far as they can with the current setup, and they realise we want him.
Yeah. Give it 3 years and seeing how successful, I'm saying successful in massive quotation marks, this European Super League could be.
But if you go money-wise, they should piss it.
Oh, yeah.
Should absolutely destroy everyone.
Yeah. And I think the whole thing as well, when you're speaking financially, there's going to be no financial fair play about it, is there? Because it's not run by a governing body of FIFA and UEFA, so clubs are going to be free to spend as much as they like on players.
I feel like there's a lot of smaller clubs as well that probably have that value and can't spend it because of their position.
Yeah, like it won't surprise me if you see a player on £1 million contract soon, if with the funding that they're going to get and all the financing from it, because it's just going to be absolutely ridiculous. Because I mean, there's been I saw I looked up before we did the podcast the assets of JP Morgan, who are set to be the team that financially they're in the trillions.
If there's any warning sign that this is already a pile of crap and you shouldn't be touched, JP Morgan are involved.
Yeah,
that's enough of a thing that you need.
Yeah, I mean, like we said, we are only just speaking about it from a football fan level, and we're not speaking as it from like a professional looking, delving into it. But we are speaking for the many that don't have the voice and saying, like, I've seen no one saying, right, I actually want this European Super League to go ahead.
Yeah, at least not seriously.
No. Like Gary Neville had a rant about it, obviously, on Super Sunday, and he made some incredible points about it, and it's just it ruins the name and identity of these English clubs, your Liverpools and your Man Uniteds and your Arsenals, and the foundations of what they've built on.
Yeah, I just remember my point now, because now You'll Never Walk Alone has to come with a disclaimer.
Yeah, and there's
the goal of Manchester United,
which is what I was just about
that banner. Football is nothing without the fans.
Yeah, a Sir Matt Busby quote. Yeah. It's absolutely ridiculous. And then the British Prime Minister Boris Johnson has got involved and saying he opposes
it. Make him look sensible, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, so when that useless pile of rubbish has been made look
when
sensible...
you've got a Tory going against you for, that's too much money there, lads.
Yeah. When he's against it, you know you must be doing something wrong there.
Oh God.
I just it's baffling. But like you said, it's been in the writing for about 10 years or so, because I remember an interview Arsene Wenger gave back in 2009 saying within the next 10 years I could see like the big clubs breaking away and forming their own Super League because of how UEFA's been run and all that, and it's now come to the forefront of it, and it's surprising that they've finally gone ahead with it like now, but at the same time it's not surprising because it's been in the writing for ages.
It has, and I've just seen something unreal. Give the shit out of the rules to rail this already.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
That is brilliant. Every club should do that. Every club needs to do that.
Yeah. So also speaking on the Champions League reform, the UEFA Executive Committee today has unanimously voted through a new 36-team Champions League to start in the 2024-25 season, and Nasser Al-Khalifa, the president of PSG, was one of those that voted for the new Champions League. And
I'm not a big fan of that either.
Yeah,
but I don't need to go and create a whole new league to voice my disapproval.
Yeah, so it's apparently going to be like a league format version instead of groups, and then it just breaks down into like a certain amount of teams go through, and then breaks down to like a playoff bracket like they do in basketball and the NFL and all that, which again is another rubbish idea. Like there's nothing wrong with it now. Why change? You could say increase the clubs. That's 36. So how many times?
Remember 2 years ago, those semi-finals were one of just the best 2 days of football in such a long time.
Yeah,
they've fully gone after that game. Gone, Joe, we need to change how this looks.
Exactly. Like, so there's currently 32 teams playing in the Champions League. So that's 4 extra teams. That's just one extra group they needed to add. How hard is it to work out then? It's like, why change it? As the old saying goes, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Yeah. We're talking about Champions League, but all this happened. Surely, what's the point of the Europa Conference League now?
Oh yeah.
That's just not even National League level anymore. That's devalued even more. They might as well scrap that plan.
It's just getting ridiculous now. It really is. But yeah, I feel like we've talked about it till the cows come home, but at the same time, we have really just scratched the surface on it, because expect over the next coming weeks and months that there'll be a lot more on it, and it will always be a talking point in this podcast until it actually does kick off and start, whenever that is set to be.
We haven't even scratched part of the surface yet. This is it's gonna rumble on.
Oh yeah, it's for me. It won't start this year.
I don't have the free time to keep doing podcasts on it.
It's going to be one of them where it'll take years because of legal battles and going to Supreme Court. So that's why I don't think it will start this August. So I think maybe 3-4 years worth of wait before it actually does potentially get the green light to go ahead, if it does fully go ahead.
God, it will. Even if it doesn't, they've gone too far now.
Yeah. By actually announcing
that is a mark now. That is an asterisk on the name of these clubs forever. No one's going to forgive them for this.
Oh no chance. Unless they changed.
They're cool.
Yeah, unless they change ownership and it becomes a fan-based ownership, and they get rid of all this bollocks Super League idea, no one's going to want them back in English football or their respective leagues at all. There's no chance in hell. Whilst they're still owned by these corporate groups, that they was like, oh yeah, you just can carry on winning the Premier League. Oh yeah, you can sign this player from our club because you've got unlimited resources. It's just not going to fucking happen. The clubs aren't going to take it. You'd be a fool to allow something like that to happen just on your doorsteps.
Yeah.
It's absolutely ridiculous, and let's hope that there is enough to ban it from actually happening, and the clubs are forced to apologise and give something back to the smaller clubs, saying, hey, like, we wanted this idea, it hasn't come off. The potential funding, we can give it to you smaller clubs, but that's just not going to happen. That's just all.
It's never going to happen.
It's just variability, really.
If in the odd chance they scrapped it, they shouldn't be brought back in the Premier League. They should be demoted to the National League.
Yeah. You got to start from the
scratch. Make them grovel.
Start from the bottom and work yourself back up over the years. But yeah, it's going to be, like you said, a long wait, and this is only just the beginning.